Welcome to the Celebrity Gourmet Podcast, where we feature top bakery and specialty food entrepreneurs from around the world and share stories and tips on how to create a successful life in the baking world.
Hi, I'm Odette Danello, the host of the Celebrity Gourmet Podcast, where I interview women in bakery to hear how they live creative lives and share their adventures in running a bakery business. I want to encourage you to go back and check out past episodes with Patty Stoba of Patty Cakes, Megan Wagstaff of Lady Yum, Bronwyn Weber from Bronwyn Cakes, Becky Palermo of Creative Cakes, and Deb Tuggle of Bite Me Cookies. Today, I am so excited to talk to Brittany Despi of Delite Bakery, located in Beacon Hill, Seattle. Delite Bakery specializes in delicious Filipino cakes, desserts, and treats. It's a family-run business that is near and dear to my heart because we all came from the same family of bakers that immigrated from Cebu, Philippines to Guam and then to the U.S. back in the 1970s. Brittany has taken over the reign of her family's business as co-owner along with her brother Avery. Her parents, known to me as Auntie Susan and Uncle Jen, are or trying to be retired. And I'm so excited to share Brittany's story with my podcast listeners. Today's episode is brought to you by Celebrity Gourmet Ventures, my family-owned and operated specialty bakery in Tacoma. At Celebrity Gourmet, we have been baking joy into all of our artistically designed cakes and desserts for 25 years. We are proud to work with a vibrant team of cake designers and bakers who help you celebrate the sweet moments in your lives. To learn more about how you can celebrate yourselves with the ones you love, you can visit us at celebritycakestudio.com, dragonflycakes.com, or email us at info@celebritycakestudio. And now, introducing Miss Brittany. Brittany, thanks for being on my podcast.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad I stopped by your bakery.
And I was there at the time.
And you were there decorating cakes.
Yeah. I mean, usually we work so early. It's hard to catch me in the afternoon, but you caught me.
I did. I remember visiting your bakery and just helping decorate because why stand around?
Oh, yeah. No, any extra hands will put you to work.
That's right. So I wanted to talk about your story. So tell me about how your parents or how your family got into the bakery business.
Well, my dad had been working with my aunt in San Francisco with a couple of the other siblings, and they decided to branch off, and they weren't really sure where they wanted to start their own shop. And it was kind of, driving around, where should we go? And then they decided to drive up to Washington and Seattle. And the thing that was crazy is that my mom loves the rain. And my dad's the opposite because, he grew up in tropical areas and California, always sunshine. But, my mom calls the shot. So she loves the rain. So she said, why not settle in Seattle? And that's where it all started. And then, I have two older brothers and we all grew up in the bakery, every weekend and every time after school. That's where, we met up and put your hands to work. We're going to do some work and then we can go home. It's kind of like we didn't have home chores. It was more like do the bakery and then we go home and then you can relax. There's always stuff to do at the bakery. There's not, there's an endless list of things to do. So it's kind of how I grew up and never turned back or changed ways. It's kind of the only life I know. So got to do that for the rest of my life, I guess.
But you really enjoy it and you're amazing at it.
I absolutely love it. Honestly, I don't know what else fits any of us quite as much because you're born and raised into it really. And obviously my parents would have loved for us to be professionals. They always kind of was like, oh, what you want to do? Would you like to be a nurse? Would you like to go to college? And all of us ended up doing college. We just decided to go the bakery route. Me and Christian did baking and pastry, and Avery did accounting, but we all still kept it in the bakery, never left.
So your memories of growing up in the bakery was very fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fun and dirty, like
Yes.
take naps on the pallets of flour, and we have whatever, whatever dessert you wanted at all, anything you wanted, you can make, or you always had the coolest birthday cakes because you could tell dad exactly what you wanted, or like any sort of, oh no, we have to bring something for the bake sale. No worries, mom will grab something and throw it in the box. That you got it, no problem. Or if you're like, oh no, I need a lunch because I forgot my lunch, mom's dropping off some bread, no problem, it's not a big deal. Our whole lives really revolve around the bakery. There's no days off that we don't go or don't think about it, and it's just all we've ever known.
But it's also amazing because Delite Bakery is the center for the Filipino community.
Oh yeah, for sure. A
Yeah.
lot of Filipino shops and restaurants have been opening up a lot lately, especially around the Seattle metropolitan area. And a lot of not only my friends, but a lot of people that I didn't even personally know they had ties to the bakery would say, we've been shopping with you since I was a little kid. And they're either older than me or the same age as me. And it's crazy because when you go through those awkward ages of, oh, I wish I didn't have to go to the bakery this weekend, or I wish I could go to like hang out with my friends or watch a movie. And those were the times that you're like, oh, I don't know if like this life is for me because I want to do other things. You realize that that life was your childhood, but the baker is also a part of a lot of other people's childhoods that were Filipino, and they didn't get a lot of Filipino exposure because maybe they didn't have a lot of Filipino foods around, or like to be bought at grocery stores because it wasn't common at the time. But a lot of my friends and like people that I've met just out in the world have said, you guys are like a piece of home, like that they never found anywhere else because it was so limited where you can even get Asian foods, let alone Filipino desserts and pastries at all. So it's kind of when I grew up a little bit older and like realized that I see pictures of my friends when they were young and they had cakes that my dad decorated, which is crazy because my dad doesn't even really decorate anymore because that's mostly my job now. So it's just funny to me, and I'll show him pictures and he'll be like, oh, that's so crazy old, like it's just so like the old, even the style of design of the cake is just so old school that it's just kind of like, wow, we really were a part of your family parties or your family dinners because they see their breads on their tables, their dinner tables, or people have told me like they come with their moms or their grandmas, and every time they come it's kind of like shooting them back to when they were like 5 or 6 years old because that's just how the history of our shop was to them.
How long have you been open? It's been a while.
Actually before even I was born. So they opened 1988 and I was born in 1990, so that was even before I was born. So yeah,
Wow.
35 years now, I believe. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, I love going to your bakery because Susan always hooks me up.
Oh
That's why
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
you. 'Cause you know,
Yeah,
when
I
you're
know.
in the
It's
know,
crazy
get
because a
hooked
lot
up.
of people are like, they don't know. Sometimes they don't like know who I am, maybe, or they'll just meet me by passing, but they'll be like, "Oh, Brittany Despi, Despi Delite." I love the Delite Bakery. It's just so
Yes.
like crazy that our name is attached to something that is like so personal to people that they have our bread in their kitchens, or they've had cakes over the years at every party that you could possibly think of at their parties, always, any occasion. It's always like, oh yeah, Delite. We've had Delite for years. That's like we always get Delite. And it's kind of like humbling almost because it's kind of like I didn't think we were that, like I never knew until, you kind of get older and you like realize that you meet people that you've never met before and they know who you are, or this bakery, they
Or
know this
they've been
bakery.
impacted by
Yeah,
your
yeah.
bakery.
Yeah, for sure. So
That's
it's wild.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to just explain to listeners just exactly how wide we go in
Oh
terms of
yeah.
our bakery legacy. So, like, how many? I know on your side of the family, and there's 12 siblings. Your father has 12 siblings.
Yeah.
And how many of them own bakeries?
I honestly haven't even counted. So just in my dad alone, we own two bakeries. So my oldest brother Christian has his in Everett, and then me and my brother, the one in Seattle, and then there's Auntie Chichi and Uncle Ben that have one, and then
What
Auntie
are the
Nellie
names of
that
their bakery? Bread Basket,
um
something?
Bread Basket,
And this is in Northern California.
yeah, Golden Fresh, right?
Mhm.
And then there's Ken, right? Ken and
Delite
Great.
Bakery.
Yeah. And then Elaine also has one as well. I don't remember, I can't remember on the top of my head what her shop is called. Yeah, she has a shop as well. And Tino's, which is my dad's nephew, also has a bunch of outlets in the Philippines. Um,
And I would dare.
I already lost count. How many is that? Like five already?
Well, and we cannot forget Elite Bakery
Oh yeah, of course.
in
Yeah,
Guam
there and then yeah, and then Guam Bakery as
and Guam
well.
Bakery, which
Yeah.
is the biggest
Yeah, huge. Yeah.
bakery
Yeah.
that's owned by our cousins, Deltanas.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, we're not new to this thing.
No. Me and my brother joke around all the time that the Despi line does not like to work under anybody else, so they just keep making their own bakeries.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
it's
don't know anything else.
yeah, that's amazing. So now tell me like what's I know that you took over. When did that happen?
So actually it happened 2021 officially. We were kind of in the works, but obviously the pandemic happened and it was a complicated process, but we decided that we were going to close for a month to transfer everything over. And with all the craziness of the pandemic, we decided that it's a good time to do it. It's a little bit easier on us because we have this time where we can shift everything over, and then also it's not as crazy while we're open, so
Right,
we have a moment that we can close down for just a little bit and switch everything over, and then kind of like make a plan of what we want to do. And then so this would be our second year doing it. Obviously my parents still work for us. It's not like they've ever left. And me and my brother co-owners to the shop now. And obviously we're still getting used to it. It's not an easy shift.
right,
Especially, working since we were younger. This is definitely a bigger responsibility and a lot of different changes. But it's been, fun so far. I mean, nothing to complain about. There's anytime we have issues, our parents are there that to, review, help us out, get advice from them.
well, what is it like? How did you manage the transition of decision making, for example, when you were so used to your parents making a decision? And our listeners, I mean, maybe I just give a background. A lot of businesses, small bakery businesses, are family owned businesses, and one of the issues is succession. And a
Hmm.
lot of times, parents don't want to give it up, and they never gave enough knowledge. They never transferred knowledge down to the next generation. So this transition from the parents to the children kind of gets messed up. But
Oh
I
yeah.
know that one of the things that I loved about the way your parents ran the bakery is that they integrated you with the entire business model itself and not just you as workers, but they taught you.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not easy for parents to let go of anything, especially to give this burden to their children, because I know that it's such a big responsibility and it's almost like a child of its own to, hand it off, and um, they obviously are not fully out of the picture. It's nice to have them transition, and when they're good and ready, they can let go. But I think over the years they knew that it was coming and they can't fight time. So,
Right.
it's me and my brother kind of always worked well together in the way of we talk to each other a lot. We're very communicative about what each of us want, but also in the sense where we kind of give each other courage as well to say, there's a line where uh, this is what we want for the future. And mom and dad this is what we are in right now is the future that they gave us. So this is kind of our time, this is where they had, set their goals to be able to pass it on to us. And now that it's our time, now we can make those decisions. And obviously we're always open to their feedback. And if we ever need them, they're always there. But I know at times there's, it's hard to break out of that. We want it this certain way, but at the end of the day, my dad and my mom are both, this is your time. They've said that to us. And I not everybody's family is that way, but you can't fight time. They need, they need to step down as well and realize that this is what we've been training pretty much all our lives for, and hopefully that we have enough experience to take that on and be able to be responsible enough to, take care of that investment of all of our, time and money, we all care for this business, and in the longevity of things, we have to be able to pick up where they left off.
I think that's just so incredible and amazing that not only did Uncle John and Auntie Susan, create this incredible business for the past 35 years in Seattle and that has such legacy, but to have taught you and your brothers how to run a business, not just that, but to remain family. Because one of the
Oh,
issues too is that there's a lot of sibling ruckus,
oh,
sibling
for sure.
rivalry. And the fact that you guys all get along and you feel fulfilled within the bakery is an incredible testament to the kind of parenting that, you've experienced, and it is to be commended.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I know in anybody's family that fighting and, bickering is always, can be an issue, and trust me, we're definitely not a peaceful family. We've had our, moments, and, um, but the idea of continuing the business and, doing it as not just for us, but, for future generations. And, you know, a lot of families are not always going to be taking over, past businesses. And it's very hard too, because sometimes you kind of feel locked into that. But
Right.
luckily, I don't know, I don't think it's the same for everybody, but I feel like we all kind of decided on our own that this was the life we chose. And I know not everybody is that way. There's a lot of businesses that close because children don't want to take over, which is, it's perfectly fine. But when you decide to make that your choice, it's a part of working together and like realizing that, we're not just partners in a business, but we're family too, makes
Yes.
it an even stronger bond, right? I don't think that you can say that one person wants it more than the other, because, it's a team. You have to work together as a team.
Right. That's incredible. That's amazing. And you and your brother have a huge age gap.
Yeah.
So,
So Christian, 12 years, and then Christian 13 years, and then Avery 11. Yeah.
wow. And that's amazing, that you're the
Mhm.
little sister, you have equal power and you have make the same, you have same level of responsibility within.
Yeah. The youngest sister, but might be the loudest sibling. Who knows?
You know what? I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. That's you know what? You are you are the visionary, it looks
Uh,
like.
yeah. I mean, just because I'm the youngest doesn't mean, I don't know how to square up with the boys.
I know you took boxing for a time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And my mom, I feel like my mom trained me that way. She said, "Don't let the boys run all over you." So,
That's amazing. So now what are your plans? What are your plans for next year, for example?
um,
Anything
we're
forward
just
to?
kind of continuing to just kind of build. We want to push out more product. We're still kind of trying to keep up with the amount of business we have right now. Still having a little bit of a hard time hiring and keeping people because,
Yeah.
you know, bakery training is not easy and it takes a while for people to be able to, with the skill to do some of the jobs we have. But eventually we're still pushing out more product, but maybe one day possibly doing you know, like a warehouse or some sort of place that we can do more of the production and then have smaller locations that distribute. That's kind of our future plans. Nothing in the works yet, but that's something that me and my brother have definitely talked about and something that, you know, we want to work towards. Uh, we're still kind of getting our bearings on, you know, on just like having everything under control and all our employees are like, you know, fully staffed and everything. I know that a lot of people right now are, you know, are trying to find jobs and everything like that. But because of the type of training this would take, it's not an easy fix where you can't just bring somebody out here and just you know, type something up or anything like that. It takes a little bit of time for the skills that we need. So yeah, that's what we're working on now. Hopefully in the future we'll have bigger plans. Yeah.
Was it like, how was it for the employees when the ownership switched? Was it kind of like, wait, hold on, Brittany's not our boss?
I actually don't think it was that big of a deal for them because we work so much and we're so hands on. I think it was more of like, oh, okay, well, this pretty much the same. We see the same people, you know, every day, and I think that that is a big testament to the family too. You know, like even though you see my parents there every day, me and my brother also there every day working just as hard. And if they have any questions for my parents, or if they're not around or they don't know the answer to, they can always come to us too for that.
Right.
Um, it wasn't really a big issue when we transferred everything over. If anything, it was kind of like it's about time, really. So
Right.
yeah, so it was
Right. What
pretty good.
when I saw you, I walked out to the when I was leaving,
Hmm.
2 weeks ago or something.
Uh-huh.
I I saw your mom in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Wait,
she's always in and out, you know.
tired. It's nice to catch up with her. So
Yeah,
I know you've been traveling a lot, so it
yeah.
looks like you have a good
I'm
balance.
trying. Yeah, I'm trying. You know, owning a business is so hard because I feel like a lot of people, when they see it from the outside, it's like, wow, you own your own business. You get to make your own hours. You get to, you know, go in whenever you want. But I really feel like it's the opposite. You know, it's constantly something that's always on your mind, and you know, like you always need to worry about it, even though it could be fully functional when you're not there. It's still on your mind. You know, but I also feel like we need to have other hobbies, not all just constantly surrounding the business, because I feel like we live in a very stressful world and it's already hard as it is. So I feel like, especially now, if you have the time and you have the money and you have, you know, why not experience these things? Why not get away if you can? Um, Obviously, I work all the time, but you know, getting to step out and experience different worlds and like, you know, anything else that's different from your constant schedule, I feel like is good for your health and even can give you more creative energy, really, to
Yeah,
see things
yeah,
differently. Yeah.
and see a different perspective of how
Oh,
people
yeah, for sure.
is. Going back to just a thought, right? Like you were talking about the whole having a manufacturing plant, and then
Hmm.
um, so that's called the hub and spoke model.
Yeah.
And best one that I saw was at Porto's Bakery. I'm sure you've been there.
Oh,
So
yeah, for sure. Hmm.
my gosh. So if you ever get down to California and meet the family, Margarita,
Hmm.
Maria, and Raul, they're super friendly and they just like gave us a backdoor tour of their facility. And it was amazing. It's
Yeah.
really amazing. And it reminds me of you and your siblings, right? Because
Hmm.
there's three siblings there and
Right.
they have that model. So I thought maybe that's something that you could reach out to them. I actually have their number. I could connect you.
Oh yeah, I would love to. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great model. And I think that could really work with Delite Bakery because your products are delicious. If whoever's listening, if you're ever in Seattle, South Seattle, go look up Delite Bakery. The food is so delicious and just some savory, some sweet, but overall just amazing. And the cakes, fantastic. That's the cakes that I grew up making. Guava, fun, you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Hmm.
chocolate dough bash, pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. It always brings me back. I'm like, oh my God, I used to decorate like that. So now, um, other than like, I know we talked about travel and all that. Like, how do you manage your like regular life and your business life?
Um, it's toss up sometimes. I'm have an easy life. I don't have kids. I'm single. The only one that depends on me is my dog. She just waits for me at home. But uh I also feel like it's very important to have, a time to yourself. I I want to be a inspiration for single women as well, not just not just a woman owned, but just because you don't have kids or you don't have a family doesn't mean you can't do things on your own. And it's, I guess, with my age and millennials, I feel like it's more common, but I feel like you can still have a fulfilling life without, maybe it's just not my time yet, but I think everybody can still have other interests and travel and, just have a business and have your family there to support you and still feel fulfilled.
And have lots of friends in a
Oh
community.
yeah, lots of friends. I have a lot of friends that love to come over and play mahjong on the weekends. I have no shortage of friends that want to hang out always. Yeah.
Oh, but
Oh
also
yeah.
too, I must just say, if you own a bakery, it's easy to make friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Like,
if
how many
anything,
people?
those are those are the people that I have to, say like, oh, okay. People will ask me like, oh, you own a bakery? Oh, I love, cakes. I love chocolate. I love, okay, well, come by. I'm always there, always. So I'm always there to be found. So
And how many times people come in and they're like, I know the owner.
oh yeah, they're always like, hey, is Brittany here? Is Brittany in the back? And can I speak to Brittany?
That's so funny. I
Yeah.
know, it's really fun. I mean, gosh, it is the best business to have. It's not like
Yeah, I mean, it's very inviting. Like, there's who
so
doesn't
inviting,
love to eat, right? Like,
right?
anytime someone like, comes by just to say hi, they weren't even really like, obviously they were coming maybe just to buy something. And, always have to force feed people, that's
Yeah, I
definitely Filipino
know.
tradition there. So whether you
Absolutely.
like it or not, you're
I
gonna have
know.
something to eat.
I think when I'm there, like when I drop by your bakery, I come home, it's like all kinds of
Yeah.
goodies. There's
Oh
like
yeah.
all kinds of siopaw, there's
Yeah.
pandesal, there's panikoko,
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's like
Yeah.
a feast.
Oh
And
yeah, especially when people come out of town and visit because we have
Mhm.
family or friends that say like, "Oh, stop by my family's bakery," and
Yep,
they'll always come by and I'll always have like a bag for them to take home. So I always say like leave some space in your packet your to pack some bread away
yep,
because you're
yeah,
gonna need
absolutely.
it.
I was just thinking about I was like, we're like I told you, we're opening up a place here in Arizona.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking about, I'm like, how am I going to bring this to Arizona? So I'm hoping you come
Oh
and do
yeah,
a
yeah.
pop up
I
here.
know I'll pack a bag just for you.
That'll be amazing. No, I want you to come too. That'll be
Yeah.
fun. So fun. So as we wrap up, I wanted to just ask one last question. If you were to talk to your younger self, Brittany, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to not be so hard on herself. I feel like we want so much all the time. Even now, everybody's so, I need this house or this car, or I need my life to be this or that, anything that we're always reaching for everything when there's so much to love right where you are.
Love it.
I feel like we don't give enough gratitude to the life we already have. because for so long, you are in a constant rat race to reach a certain goal or catch some sort of prize. But if you think back to where you were 5 years ago, even maybe a year ago, the life you're living right now is most likely what you wanted so badly
That was
that
the dream.
you, yeah, exactly, that you wanted so badly. And to think that your past self wanted this, but yet you're still not satisfied and you're still reaching when you could give gratitude for the life that you wanted because you've already have it.
And you know what? That's beautiful because gratitude really is like acknowledgement that you received what you wanted, you know,
Exactly.
and that you received this blessing
Oh yeah, for
of
sure.
life.
Yeah. And I feel like we don't need to reach any more than we already have because we're so blessed with so many things that we forget. We forget that we have so many things that we're blessed with. My dog's yelling at me.
Is he?
Yeah, she's like whining. It's
What is
couch
he
time.
saying? What?
It's couch time for her.
Oh,
She's wondering
oh,
why I'm not on the couch with her.
oh, oh, who's
My dog. My
oh,
dog.
your dog? I was like, your
Yeah.
dad.
Oh no, my dog. Yeah, she's wondering
Hilarious.
why I'm not on the couch with her.
Well, have couch time with your puppy. And I am so grateful that you came and that I went to visit you and you said yes to being on this podcast. It's such a pleasure talking to you, Brittany. Thank you so much. I look forward to following up with you and seeing if you would come and visit
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be so
Tucson.
much fun.
Tucson.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be so fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Celebrity Gourmet Podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.